Merhabalar, hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Kusura bakmayın, profesörümüz ofisimize yeni giriş yaptı. O yüzden bağlanması biraz geç sürecek. Bu süre zarfında daha fazla bekletmemek için içeri almak istedik sizi. Hem de kurumumuzdan çok kısa bahsetmek istiyoruz bir sunum eşliğinde. Öncelikle tekrar hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Ben British Education Bureau'dan Nihal, operasyon supervisor olarak görev almaktayım şirketimizde. Sunum başlamadan önce dediğim gibi şirketimiz hakkında çok kısa bilgi vermek istiyorum size. Sunum sonrasında da herhangi bir sorunuz olursa Queen Mary Üniversitesi ile ilgili ya da Londra'daki eğitimle ilgili bize her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz. Chatbox'tan yazabilirsiniz. Mail adreslerimizi ve iletişim bilgilerimizi sunumun sonunda paylaşıyor olacağım. Oradan da iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Öncelikle BEP kimdir bundan bahsetmek isteriz. British Education Bureau, Queen Mary University of London'ın Türkiye'deki resmi temsilcisidir. İngiltere'de toplam 90 tane üniversitenin resmi
Sonuç
temsilcisiyiz
nasıl
aslında.
cevap
Sadece
bekliyorum.
Queen Mary
That's
Üniversitesi'nin
fine.
değil, temsil ettiğimiz üniversitelerin Türkiye'de tanıtımına destek
I,
veriyoruz ve üniversiteler için Türkiye'de organizasyonlar gerçekleştiriyoruz. Şirketimiz 2002 yılında Oxford'da kuruldu. İngiliz ve Türk kuruculara sahip bir yapımız var. 22 yıldır profesyonel olarak İstanbul, Ankara ve İzmir'deki ofislerimizde öğrencilerimize hizmet sunuyoruz. Aslında İngiltere'deki üniversitelerin Türkiye'deki bürosuyuz diyebiliriz. Üniversitelerin bize sağladığı başvuru portallarından başvurularımızı girip öğrencimizin vize süreci, konaklama sürecine kadar tüm süreçlerinde ücretsiz olarak hizmet veriyoruz temsilcisi olduğumuz üniversitelerde. Ve tüm danışmanlarımız da İngiltere ve İrlanda'daki eğitim sistemine vakıf ve bu konular hakkında eğitim almış uzman bir kadrodan oluşmaktadır. Birleşik Krallık ve İrlanda'da toplam 150 tane üniversite bulunmakta ve sunumun başında da söylediğim gibi 90 tanesinin Türkiye'deki resmi temsilciliğini yapmaktadır. Bize ulaşabileceğiniz bilgilerimizi paylaşmak istedim. İnternet sitemiz britishededucation.com.tr, Instagram adresimiz beb_turkey, Facebook adresimiz de bu şekilde. Dediğim gibi sunum esnasında da sorularınız olduğunda lütfen chat box'tan yazın. İngilizce ya da Türkçe yazabilirsiniz. Direkt profesöre sorabilirsiniz ya da bizim ekibimize sorabilirsiniz. Başvuru koşulları ile ilgili, nasıl bir sürece başlanacağı ile ilgili. Biz memnuniyetle yardımcı olacağız. Aynı zamanda Instagram'daki sayfamızı da aktif olarak kullanıyoruz. Bütün etkinliklerimizi ilk olarak orada duyuruyoruz. Takip ederseniz eğer tüm etkinliklerden ilk haberiniz olabilir. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Tekrar hoş geldiniz diyorum. İyi sunumlar diyorum.
Helen profesörümüz de katıldı isterseniz.
very good to see you. Thank you very much, Imran. And it's very good to be on the call. Can you?
Thank you so much,
Good morning,
Professor
Nihal.
Nigel
Good
Spencer.
morning, Nigel. Once
You
again,
can,
on behalf of, I'm sorry,
sorry.
Imran. On behalf of BEB and our participants, we would like to say welcome to you. And I hope you find Turkey well. I hope you had a great time
It's
in
lovely.
Turkey.
I always love being here in Istanbul. It's lovely. So thank you.
Before we start, while we are waiting, we just made a BEB presentation to our participants, and now that's your turn. Have a great time.
Thank you very much. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay? Is my sound okay? Yeah, is that okay? Is that okay? Good. It's a bit echoey in here, but anyway, it's lovely to be with you today, and lovely to be in Istanbul. My name is Nigel Spencer, and I am based in the law school at Queen Mary University of London. I have a short presentation which I can just take us through, just to explain a little bit about the law school and what we do. My role in the law school, I'm a professor in the law school. And my role is really a role where it's called Professor of Practice, of Legal Practice. So I sit within the law school, but my job is really to work with employers, so to look outwards and help all of our students with things like internships and work opportunities and thinking about their careers as well. So that's what I'll be talking about a little bit, but I'll give some general information about the law school first for about 15 minutes or so. And then, of course, we can ask questions as well if you have questions. Let me just share some slides. So if I if I share my slides. So this will just give you some information about the law school. So I don't know how many of you know about Queen Mary. We are based in London, and we are based near the centre of London, so just east of the centre of London. The good thing about that is that it means we're very close to the city, so that we're close to employers, and we're close for opportunities for the students to go and meet with employers often. And often we have speakers come quite often from employers as well, which is great. So being very close is very helpful as well. A second point on the slide there is we are a campus university. And you might think, well, most universities are campus universities, but in London, that's not the case. So we're quite unusual in London in that we have accommodation on site as part of our campus. And that's nice because it means that the students can all be together in their first year. They all get offered accommodation on the campus as well. And also for graduate students as well, there's accommodation. So if you're applying for a master's course. So that's very nice, I think, from a London point of view, to be a London university, but also have a campus as well. Okay, what else do you need to know about Queen Mary? Well, we're very highly ranked as a university. So we're a top university and a top law school as a university, very highly ranked for all the research we do, for the teaching we do. We just got another major national award actually for our teaching a few days ago, which was very good to see as well. So we win lots of awards for our teaching, for our research, and we're a very, very top school. So, and that actually means, of course, that it's quite, the grades are quite high to actually get in our school because it is a very, very top school as well. How big are we? Well, here's a slide that just tells you how big we are. So we have about 400 students in our first year now at the law school as undergraduates. And in total, of course, all of the years of the undergraduates, about 1,000, 1,100 students as well. We have lots of amazing academic and teaching staff, so over 100, 134 there, and lots of postgraduate students. So one good thing about the law school is we have the undergraduate degree, but we also have lots of specialist programs you can do as you want to as a master's course as well. So that's a nice thing about Queen Mary. It has both those things. And let me just explain a little bit about all the different programs that we have. So we have the standard on the top left, we have the standard law program where you can come and do law in 3 years. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. But then you also have, going down the left-hand side, you have what we call English and European law and global law. And they are programs where you can spend a year abroad studying as part of your degree, which is lovely. And I'll give you some lists of countries that you can go to in a minute. At the bottom left, we have an amazing program, a quite famous program on English and French law. So for students who are bilingual in French, you can spend 2 years in London and 2 years in Paris. And then you come out with a really good qualification that means you're qualified as a lawyer in England, but also qualified as a lawyer in Paris as well. So that's an amazing qualification, and the students always go on and get great jobs from there as well. And then on the right-hand side of this picture, you can also do broader studies. So you can do dual degrees. You can do law and politics or law and business. And they might be examples where you think, I wanted to study some politics, but I also like law. So that gives you a chance to do both and do some modules in each of the subjects, and business as well, the same. We have something called a senior status program on the right-hand side. Now, that's quite an interesting degree. That's for people who have some legal studies already. And it's almost like a conversion course, like a condensed degree in 2 years, where you have quite a lot of law knowledge from your previous law degree, perhaps in a different country, and then you come to the UK and want to do a senior status course. We have lots of people, for example, from Canada and places like that come and do that course, but lots of other countries as well. And lastly, and I think on the bottom there, on the right, one of the important things to say is that we're very keen to keep changing and updating our courses as well. And one example of that is the course on what we've called law and climate justice. And because we know the climate of climate change, the environmental challenges that the world is facing, we know that many students want to study a topic like that. And so what we've done is put together a degree where you can study law, but you can also study some modules from the geography school as well about sustainability and about climate as well. So that's a nice degree, but it gives you an idea of how we like to invent new things as well. What you get as your foundations, as your core bits of knowledge. Well, in most of the degrees, you get these elements of law, the England and Wales law, so criminal law, contract law, land law, and you can see all the lists there. So they form the core of modules that you will get, for example, in your first year, especially in your first 2 years. But as we say on this slide, what you increasingly get as you go through the degree is actually more choice. So you get all of these amazing modules that we've listed here, whether you're interested in human rights or employment law or climate justice or media law or family law or company law, whatever you're interested in, you can find some modules which will really interest you as well. So there's lots of choice, especially in your second and third years as well. And here are those countries. I mentioned those countries that you can go to if you want to do a year abroad as part of your studies. So just to confirm, the way that works is you would sign up for a 4-year degree. You do the first 2 years in London, then you go abroad for a year in your third year, and then you come back and finish your degree in London again. And you can see there, you can do English and European law and have a year abroad with our partner universities in many countries there. And some of those are taught in English, some of them are taught in the native language, as you can see. And then on the right-hand side, if you want to go even further than Europe, you can also go to some amazing places as your year abroad. Again, many of them taught in English, as you can see, Australia, Canada, China, Hong Kong, India, Japan, Singapore, USA, or some of them are taught in the native language as well, whether if you're in Argentina and Brazil. So there's some lovely choices there of how you might want to study and have a year abroad as part of your studies to make your degree feel nice and global for you too. And then here's something special that we do at Queen Mary, and I'm responsible for this part. And it's something that we started 10 years ago, where at that time, my background was in the legal sector. I've been working in universities for a bit, but I was also working in law firms for many, many, many years. And I used to look after the graduates as they came into the law, to our law firm. And one thing I always felt was it would really help students if during their studies, they actually had a bit of work experience and a bit of practical experience to apply their learning in practice. And so what we created at Queen Mary here is an opportunity. So if you come to do a law degree with us, you do your first year modules, then you do your second year modules, and then in your second year, you would then apply for some of the opportunities that you see listed on the slide here with some of the employers we work with to actually go and work there in your third year. And that's paid, it's paid about £23,000 or £26,000 a year to go and work there as a paralegal, really. And then you get the chance to come back and then finish your studies in your fourth year. So this model, it's a bit similar in the structure to the study abroad. It's just that in your third year, you don't study abroad, but you go and work in London at one of these employers. So that's one option for you. And I've seen so many students get really good jobs because of that as well. So they often go and have really good jobs as part of that, outcome from that as well. And then another very special thing at Queen Mary, and this links to that point I've just made of practical experience. And I think Queen Mary is quite unusual on that. You know, we have very, very top professors and top research. So the knowledge is very good, but also we care about building your skills. So it's both knowledge and skills that you get from a Queen Mary degree as well. And at the Legal Advice Centre, basically, that's run by a barrister, Frances Rideout, who sits just down the corridor from me in London. And with Frances, she allows students to gain experience. So more than 550 students, as it says on the slide there, work in the Legal Advice Centre every year. What does that mean? It means you get the chance to practice giving advice, giving legal advice to clients who will be people from the local community who have legal problems. So they might have a problem with their landlord, they might have a problem, they might have bought something that doesn't work, but they have a legal problem and they don't want to go to an expensive lawyer. So the opportunity is to come to Queen Mary's Legal Advice Centre, and then in the Legal Advice Centre, you will then get experience of interviewing the client, finding out what their problem is, and then writing them an advice letter, doing your research and then writing an advice letter, all under the supervision of a qualified lawyer. So you'll be supervised while you're doing that. But it's a lovely way of actually getting that practical experience, as I say, a really good way of getting practical experience too. And just on that, Frances and the Legal Advice Centre, they do some amazing projects as well, where they help, where students work on these, where it might be on the left-hand side there about how we need to help people avoid having their images used in a bad way, or we might need to help the black members of the community actually get access to justice. Or another project they do, not on the slide, is where recently they went into prisons in London and near London and actually tried to help prisoners get their rights as well that they needed to do. So, as I say, the Legal Advice Centre is an amazing opportunity for you to gain practical experience as well, in addition to those placements I mentioned as well. And just one other thing that Frances and I have done, and this is just freely available to you, is we started 4 years ago a podcast. So for those of you that like listening to podcasts to learn, we've done a podcast, we've done over 100 episodes now, and the aim of the podcast is to help people trying to build their careers in the legal sector. So for example, we talk to people in different types of legal jobs. We talk to a judge, we talk to a barrister, we talk to a solicitor, we ask them what it's like to do their job. We also help people, some of the episodes of the podcast are also about how you do good job applications as well. So we try and help you with some of those practical skills too. So that's there. There's a QR code on the slide, but you can feel free to listen completely free, and it's on Spotify and it's on your Apple podcast, whatever you listen to your podcasts on. But feel free to listen to that, and there's some great advice there for you as part of the podcast. And I suppose all of what I've just said really is really emphasizing that we give a lot of careers and employability support. All those opportunities for internships, for the careers type advice, the podcast that's available to you. We have careers advisors who can have one-to-one appointments with you as well to help you with that, think about your career or the job applications you're making. And as I say, I think one thing that's quite unique about Queen Mary, and I said it a little bit earlier, is that we don't just care about building your knowledge through all the modules. Yes, we do that because, of course, we have amazing faculty who are very expert. So we build your knowledge, but we also build your skills as well. And in my experience over 20 years where I was working with graduates who were going through into jobs, the thing that will really give you the best opportunities is if you don't just build your knowledge, but you build your skills as well. That is what will create the best career opportunities for you too. So that really, and we have lots of law societies. And I mention these because for all of you students out there, this is a very nice leadership opportunity for you, where you can be a leader in one of the societies. You can arrange talks, you can talk to employers, you can, run events, you can do whatever you want to do, run talks. You can do all of that in the law societies, and that gives you a really nice way of actually giving yourself responsibility and taking some leadership roles as well while you're doing your studies. So that's So that's a little bit about the law school. I'm conscious of time. Imran, shall I stop there for questions, or do you want me to say a few more things about careers and skills? What would you prefer?
I think if you can just provide information, a little bit more information
Okay.
about the careers, that would be great.
Amazing. Okay, yeah. So just to finish on that then, Imran. So one of the things that I do a lot of research on, so my research is all about career paths and skills of the future. And so one of the things I've always been very interested in is, what will a lawyer be in the future? What will change? You know, we've got AI coming in, haven't we? And we've got all these technology systems. Does that mean the job will change, or will it stay the same? And so here's some thoughts on that. I mean, what's just happened the last few years? Well, I have the picture of the empty table there because, of course, we've just lived through the pandemic where we had to have very much a different way of doing our jobs. We had to work remotely, completely remotely for some period of time. And some firms are still working out how they then come back to the office. So that's a theme. We have the robots on the bottom there. You know, how much will the technology actually mean that the work is done by technology and not by humans? But on the top, I really want to emphasize as well, the person shaking hands, that the job is still very much about human relationships. Your skills in actually building good client relationships are going to be what makes you either a good or not so good lawyer. So don't forget that is still absolutely true as well. And if I was to think about careers, you know, careers almost used to be quite straightforward. You used to go in a straight line, you used to develop, have one job, have another job, and then perhaps later in your career, you would branch out and have a broader job, perhaps around, you know, being a manager or something like that, having been an expert. But careers are changing, and the research I did shows that careers are much more different and varied now. And okay, there's lots of information on the right-hand side, but the key message I want to get across is, in your career paths and your careers, because you're much younger than I am, you will end up doing many different jobs, because the jobs and the organizations, the law firms, are changing very quickly. For example, on the right-hand side, I just drew the picture, and that was from talking to someone about their career. And they said, well, I did my degree and my apprenticeship. I then went into my practice area. This is from the bottom. Then went into my practice area and developed my expertise. But then I went into the data analytics team because I got very interested in the technology and the clients were interested in the technology. And then actually I moved into an area where we were developing knowledge tools for clients. So that was a slightly different job. I was still in the same law firm, but I was doing slightly different jobs in different departments. And then I might have been working in a client solution center, or then working as like a strategy and advisory group as I got more senior. And my point there is that, as I say, think of it that jobs are changing and you need to be very good at adapting your skills and actually be very open to adapting your skills if you're going to be very effective in your careers. And so some of the skills you need, I think, from my research on this, looking into the future. So on the left-hand side there, you know, we often hear the word be curious, you know, be really questioning, be interested in things. And also, you need to be open to learning again and again, because as those jobs change, and as you have different jobs and different types of jobs, you'll need to actually develop slightly different skill sets as well. You need to embrace ambiguity because you don't know where the next job possibly will be. You need to perhaps see opportunities, not only risks. And that's something important because for lawyers, I think we're often trained to think about the risks to our clients. And so therefore we say to them, oh no, you can't do that, or you need to be careful about that and don't do that. But also the clients want us to have the other side of the point of view and say, okay, yes, of course there are risks we need to think about, but what are the opportunities as well? And so having that risk or opportunity mindset is very important. And then on the right-hand side, you know, being strategic thinkers, yes, being data aware. There's another point about being data aware. So the importance of data and technology and those skills you need to have. And I also put on the right-hand side there, posing great questions. Because again, often I think lawyers think the value in their skill set is about just transmitting information, about telling people an answer. The value actually is sometimes asking your client a great question. And the client says, do you know why I like speaking to that lawyer? Because they make me think very deeply about the problem we've got in the business or the project we're doing. And so that adds great value. So that's a very important skill set, asking good questions as well. And I also put on the right there, building collaborative teams, because as the jobs get more varied in the future, then it becomes really, really important to actually, of course, build teams where we actually have different skill sets. You might have your data analytics expert. You might have your lawyer who knows about IP law. You might have someone who's very good at project management. All of those different people now work in law firms. And if you look in law firms and legal services in careers, there are many different job titles now. Probably compared to 5 years ago, there were fewer job titles. Now there are many more job titles, which I think actually is really exciting news for you all in the future, because it means you can have many different types of job as well. And so one of the things I wanted to emphasize here is, as you build your career, get into the good habit of actually experimenting. Don't be scared of experimenting, but actually try new things. They might not go 100% right every time you try them, but try new things. And then actually, that's the way you will actually learn really well and build up your resilience as well. Because if things don't go well the first time, we learn a different way of doing it. And we say, that didn't go so well. I'll try it slightly differently next time. And that's the way we build our resilience, which is a really good way of doing it. And just finally, really, in terms of, we had a workshop where we got lots of employers to come in and say, what skills do you want lawyers to have in the future? And you might think, oh, the employers will probably say, I want them to know about IP law or technology law or corporate law. But they didn't say that at all. What they said was they want all of these different types of skill sets, which are some of the things I've been talking about. So my point to you is, of course, build your technical knowledge and your legal expertise. But then the thing that will differentiate you as a lawyer and make you really successful in your career are all of these broader skills as well. And the good news, by the way, if you develop these broader skills, is then if you want to, you can go and do other jobs as well. You're not actually just stuck in one job for your whole career. So it actually allows you more choice as your career develops too. So I did some research. I won't go through them as well, but I did an article in a book where I thought about the 6 different types of roles that lawyers might be in the future. And so you can see one on data there. And so they are just almost different personas and the way that I think legal skills will develop. But Imran and Nahel, that's there were some thoughts on careers anyway, and thoughts on skills for everyone. And I hope that was interesting and useful for people.
Thanks so much, Professor Nigel Spencer. We can put your email address, if you don't mind, on the chat box, and for the further questions, they can contact you as well.
Of course.
We know you need to leave in a couple of minutes.
I do, sadly, yes.
Yeah. But we will be here for the questions after you leave, and I think we have one question now about the GPA requirement. But we can also answer that as well.
Okay. Yes, I mean, I'm conscious you're the experts probably on the applications, and I know it depends on whether people are doing the baccalaureate as well, or whether people are doing the Turkish diploma. So I appreciate it's different, Imran, depending on what people are doing. So it's quite specific.
Yeah. Professor Funda Yarcan has a question, I think.
Hello, nice to meeting you.
Hello, very good to meet you, Professor.
Thank you very much for your great presentation. It is so valuable. Actually, I'm here for my daughter. She's a senior at the high school, and she really wants to study law in the UK. Would it be okay? I mean, do you mind if she directly contacts your department?
That's fine. I put my email in the chat there. So, Professor, please put her in touch. And if she has questions that are specifically about applying, then either Imran or the team here, or we have Charlotte in the law school. I can share the slides from today, which has Charlotte's contact details as well. And Charlotte is very good on questions, but obviously Imran and the team here are very good on any questions that she may have specifically on applying. But of course, I'm very happy to speak to her. I think just before I go, I mean, one thing I would say just is, as I say, in terms of, you know, how Queen Mary is different. And I say different, I don't mean better, because all I mean is all law schools are slightly different. So, you know, King's is very good, Queen Mary is very good, UCL is very good in London, for example, all these ones in London. But the reason I think I've ended up at Queen Mary, when I was working in my law firms for all those years, and I was interested in how we can help the graduates come in and be really effective. What I saw year on year was, as they came into the firm, as I think I said in the presentation, I thought it would really help them if they had some practical experience during their studies. And that's why we invented the placement degree, you know, with the year-long placement that we now do. That's why the Legal Advice Centre, we do give all that practical experience there so they can learn to give advice. And I would say one thing, and I would say that is one way that Queen Mary is actually very different. Again, I won't use the word better because they're different, but, you know, when I said that we have amazing knowledge in our researchers and our professors, but we also care about the skills, I don't think you have that balance at some other law schools. I'd say that was, if I was to say what I think the difference is, and then you can choose, and you may say, do you know what, for my child, I want them to go to somewhere that's very academic. And that's fine. And we're very academic. You know, you can just focus absolutely on being very academic at Queen Mary. You don't have to get involved with all that practical side of things and the experience. But I just think it's a lovely opportunity for them because, as I say, when I was working in those employers and I saw the graduates come in, over many years, I realized that actually helped them be more confident, and it helped them transition better from the world of education to the world of work. And I think, you know, and that's why I was so passionate over so many years of building in these little practical opportunities for people to actually come and, you know, gain the practical experience while they were doing their studies. And so I think Imran and Nihal as well, that's, you know, that's, if I was to pick out something that I feel makes Queen Mary very special, I would say that makes Queen Mary very special, you know, in the terms of that balance that you get, if that made sense. Did that make sense? There's no idea.
Yes, sure, of course. Thank you very much, Professor. Okay.
That's okay. But no, it's a pleasure to be here today. And I'm sorry, I've got another appointment now. I better run. But it was really a pleasure to see you all today. And good luck with your studies, all of you students who are listening as well. And I'm sure you'll all have amazing careers. And well done, Imran and Nihal, for all the help you give them as well, and all the team at BEB. And yeah, and please get in touch if ever I can help. But it was a real pleasure to join today, and a pleasure to be in your lovely city as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Okay.
Professor Nigel Spencer. We hope to see you again in Turkey.
That would be lovely. It's
very
lovely coming
soon.
to your office, Imran, as well. Lovely to be here. So thank you very much.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Have a
Take
nice
care,
day.
everyone. Keep well. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Nihal Hanım, alabiliriz isterseniz soruları.
Bir sorumuz vardı. LLM için GPA'mizin kaç olması gerektiğine dair. Gerçi başvuru dosyamızdaki CV'miz, niyet mektubumuz, iş tecrübemiz de bu konuda çok etkili oluyor ama genel olarak Queen Mary 2.8 GPA ve üzeri başvuruları olumlu olarak değerlendiriyor. Şu an sorulan tek sorunun da bu olduğunu görüyorum ama farklı sorularınız varsa sesli olarak da alabiliriz. Ufuk Hocam başvuru tarihiyle ilgili sormuş. Aslında başvurularımız açıldı. Ancak başvuruların oranına göre, verilen kabullere göre kontenjan da olabiliyor. Kontenjanın dolması çok sık karşılaştığımız bir durum değil aslında Nisan ayından önce ama biz 2025 Eylül'de başlayacak öğrenciler için en geç Nisan sonuna doğru başvurunun girilmiş olmasını bekliyoruz. Yani Nisan aslında geç bile oluyor. Şu zamanlarda başlıyor çünkü başvuruların alınması. Queen Mary'de ELNAT gerekmiyor. ELNAT'la ilgili bir soru gelmiş. Türkiye için bu tabii ki her üniversitenin her ülkeden aldığı belli bir sayı var, kontenjan var. Doğru söylüyorsunuz. Ancak bunun sayısını bizlerle de paylaşmıyorlar. Sadece başvuru artık alamıyoruz, bilginiz olsun diye maille bilgilendirme yapıyorlar. Master için burs olanakları var mı? İngiltere'deki üniversitelerin master ya da lisans için burs olanakları var. Ancak genelde kısmi burslar oluyor. Bunu da genel olarak başvuru yaptıktan, öğrenci numaramızı aldıktan ve kabul aldıktan sonra yapabiliyoruz burs başvurularını da. Eğer kısmi de olsa burstan yararlanmayı düşünen katılımcılarımız varsa başvurularının en geç aralığın sonuna kadar girilmiş olmasını tavsiye ediyoruz. Toplantı için teşekkür ederim. Burs imkanları ile ilgili bilgiyi az önce verdim. IELTS için minimum 6.5 ortalama olması gerekiyor lisans için. Master için de minimum 7.0 olması gerekiyor. Tabii subscore'lar da önemli. Onların da yine başvuracağımız bölümdeki giriş şartlarını inceleriz. Çünkü Queen Mary'de çok fazla hukukla ilgili bölüm var. Ama minimum 6.5'in altında olmaması gerektiğini söyleyebilirim. Subscore'lar, evet, şimdi yanıtladım onu da. Bunu da hocam. Kaçırdığım bir soru var mı? Başvuru tarihiyle ilgili de değinmiştim. IELTS ile ilgili değindim. Türkiye lise ortalaması. Aslında yine bu da master'la benzer olarak niyet mektubu, öğrencinin ek olarak neler yaptığı, nasıl bir etkinliklere katıldığı mesela CV'sinde önemli. Ama yine Queen Mary için birinci sınıftan başlamak için bir onaylı lise listemiz var. Eğer onaylı lise listelerinin içindeyse birinci sınıftan başlayabiliyor öğrencimiz. Minimum yine 85 ortalama gerekiyor diyebiliriz. Eğer onaylı liselerin liste içerisinde değilse Queen Mary'de birinci sınıftan başlayamıyoruz. Hazırlık okumamız gerekiyor. Yine onun da not ortalaması en az 85 olması gerekiyor diyebiliriz. Ancak başvurmak istediği bölüme göre de değerlendirilebilir. Bu konuda net bir şey söylemek şu anda çok doğru olmaz. Başvurmayı düşünen öğrencilerimizle zaten toplantı sonrasında ivedilikle iletişime geçecek eğitim danışmanlarımız case by case ilerlemek gerekiyor. Daha doğru olacaktır. Onaylı lise listesini biz iletebiliriz sizlere. Dediğim gibi toplantıdan sonra mümkün olan en kısa süre içerisinde kayıt olan herkese ulaşmaya çalışacağız. Birebir konuşabiliriz. Ücretlerle de ilgili yine toplantı sonrasında başvuracağınız bölüme göre ücretlerin de web sitelerinde yer alan bilgilerini sizinle paylaşabiliriz. Saint Joseph onaylı listeler içinde doğrudur. Onu hatırlıyorum, evet. Chatbox'tan yazmayıp isterseniz sesli olarak da sorabilirsiniz sorularınızı.
Pardon, merhabalar.
Merhabalar Funda Hocam, buyurun.
Biraz önce sormuştum kendisine hani kızım direkt olarak konuşabilir mi, görüşebilir mi diye. Hani e-postamla haberleşebilirsiniz.
Tabii.
Onu nereden edinebiliriz acaba?
Ben size ileteyim. Burada konuşma için ayrı bir alan var. Oraya iletmişti. Ben tekrar onu yukarıda kaldı. Tekrar
Herhalde
ilettim.
yapamadım, göremedim de o yüzden tekrar sormak zorunda kaldım. E, Hani bana da direkt iletebilirsiniz.
Tamam, tamam. Ben size de iletirim. Kayıt formunda.
Şeyden e-postayla nasıl ben kendim verebilirim e-postamı buradan
Siz
ister.
zaten kayıt olurken vermiştiniz. Bende o bilgiler var. Ben WhatsApp'tan iletirim.
Teşekkür ederim. Çok teşekkürler.
Rica ederim. Biz teşekkür ederiz katılımınız için. Sanırım farklı bir soru yok. Tekrar katıldığınız için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Instagram adresimizi takip ederseniz eğer oradaki bizim bu hafta ve gelecek günlerde yapacağımız çok değerli etkinlikler var. Yine hukuk alanında yapacağımız bir etkinlik var Southampton Üniversitesi'nde ve bunun da zaten aslında duyurusunu yaptık Instagram'dan. Southampton da yine çok güzel bir üniversite. Rankinglerde yüksek, hukuk alanında oldukça başarılı. Türkiye'deki değerli üniversitelerimizde bulunan akademisyenlerden çok fazla Southampton'da master yapmış olanlar var. Hukuk Fakültesi'nde özellikle. Mutlaka siz de araştırmış olabilirsiniz, biliyorsunuzdur. Etkinliklerimize katılmanızı çok isteriz. Hepimiz de bilgileniyoruz bu şekilde. Bazı etkinliklerimiz üniversitelerin direkt ilgili bölümlerinin akademisyenleriyle olurken bazı etkinliklerimizde Türkiye'den sorumlu olan operasyon müdürleriyle oluyor. Onlardan da kabul şartları ile ilgili genel olarak birçok bölümle ilgili bilgi alma fırsatımız oluyor. Çünkü onlar kabul ekibinin bir parçası ve öncesinden herhangi bir etkinlikte sizinle tanışıp sizin sorularınızı almaları başvuru yaptığımızda kabul şansınızı da mutlaka arttıran bir şey. O yüzden etkinliklerimize katılmanızı tavsiye ediyoruz. Sanırım farklı bir sorumuz yok. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Webinarımızı biz burada bitirebiliriz. Kendinize çok iyi bakın. İyi
Bir
günler
sorumuz
diliyoruz.
var Nihal Hanım. Ufuk Bey'in bir sorusu daha var. Başvuru sonrası kabuller ne zaman belli
Çok
oluyor
özür
şeklinde.
dilerim. Kaçırmışım. Normalde kabullerimiz 4 hafta ile 8 hafta arasında geliyor. Maksimum 8 hafta diyebiliriz. Ancak başvuruyu ne zaman yaptığımızda da çok orantılı bir şey bu Ufuk Hocam. O yüzden ne kadar aslında erken başvuru yaparsak kabulümüzü de o kadar erken alabiliyoruz. Burak Aksoy'un bir sorusunu gördüm şimdi. English French Law'ın son senesi master değil. Hayır, LLB. Yani lisans derecesinde mezun olmuş oluyoruz. Onun bir sene fazla olmasının nedeni 2 senelik eğitimi Fransa'da alıyor olmanız. Ancak master statüsünde mezun olmuyoruz. Global Law okuduğumuz zaman Türkiye'deki denkliğe ihtiyaç var mı? Aslında sadece Global Law için değil, genel olarak hukuk bölümünde İngiltere'de bitirdiğimizde Türkiye'de çalışmak istiyorsak, evet denklik var. Bazı almamız gereken müfredatta, Türk müfredatında bulunan bazı dersleri alıp o şekilde çalışmaya başlayabiliyoruz. Yani Türkiye'de çalışmak istediğimiz zaman ilave olarak almamız gereken dersler olacaktır. Bunun da bilgisini yine detaylı olarak danışmanlarımız size ulaştığında paylaşabiliriz. Ben farklı bir soru göremiyorum. Siz görebiliyor musunuz İmran Bey?
Sanırım bütün soruları yanıtladık
Evet.
gibi görünüyor.
Tekrar teşekkür ediyoruz. Hepinize iyi günler diliyoruz. Hoşça kalın.
Teşekkürler, iyi günler.